Kathy Wagner, Director of Horticulture at Baltimore Country Club, if you don't already know me. Thanks for getting one of our gardening kits. I hope it helps you get through this crazy spring we're having. So we put together a video depending on which kit you've done, you purchased. We have one for the trio and one for the single. So I'm going to walk you through all the steps that you need to create one of these beautiful single planters or a matched pair if that is what you purchased. Okay, so for this demo I'm going to show you how to do the single planter. In this example we're doing the one for shade or morning sun, but the same rules apply whichever schematic you're following, so make sure you have your schematic handy that came with your planter so you know how everything lays out. And make sure you have some extra soil as well to backfill around your plants. So for this planter, each one of these single kits fills a planter about 16 inches diameter at the top. I already have it filled with my pine bark mini nuggets and my nice quality potting soil. At this point you might want to add a little bit of Osmocote or slow release fertilizer, and then we're going to get started. So we'll start in the middle with a really pretty caladium. This is called Florida Elise. Play on the old classic song there. So we've got, this is a pretty big pot, so I'm actually going to dig a little bit out. I have my soil set at about 3 inches from the top, but this quart-sized pot is a little bit deeper, so I'm going to dig it out just a little bit. I've got her set in the middle, and then kind of tucked right up with her for a little texture contrast, you've got a nice spike here, just a Dracaena spike. So those are really going to be cheek to cheek. I'm actually going to kind of smoosh them together in the middle. And that's just like you've got the best textural contrast here with your spiky plant and your roundy big leaf plant here. Now we're going to sort of surround this with 4 mounding plants and some trailing, because we want to, these tend to be kind of stalky, so we want to make sure we have enough mounding things to fill around it. So in the very back, I'm going to put this compact Boston fern. It gets tucked right in the back. And again, we're cracking our roots just a little bit on each of these, clearing out just enough soil so that these sit about 1 inch below the rim of your pot. Now on the one side, I'm going to put this big pink begonia. So it's like a wax begonia, but it gets significantly bigger, and bigger is better. So we're going to put this one off to the side here. Now we've got some cracks and crannies. I like to go ahead and fill these out sort of as I'm moving along. I find that to be easier than filling big spaces after all the plants are in here. So I know that that's going to be it for that side. On the other side, I've got this really pretty Vino coleus, nice dark foliage with a green rim. And you know, we all need a little Vino when we're doing our planting. So here she is. We're going to put her right on the side here. Again, a little bit bigger pot, so I'm going to clear out just a little bit of soil. Remember, we want at the end of it, all these plants, you know, regardless of what size pot they came in, they all need to be at the same level at the top. So it's about 1 inch down from the edge from the top of your pot. So some of them you're gonna have to dig out a little bit more. Some of them you might need to put a little bit more soil back in, just to make sure everything sits at the right level. So these big guys are gonna mound out around our taller items. Then right in the middle in the front, I've got a New Guinea Impatient. So this is Apple Blossom, a nice apple blossom pink. It's just a perfect match for our begonia. We're gonna bring some of that flower power to the front, just a little mounding New Guinea Impatient. And remember, when you're doing your edging plants, you can actually cheat them. It's almost like a 45-degree angle leaning over the edge of the pot. That kind of lends some maturity to the pot, even though it's brand new. It makes it look like things have been growing there and spilling over the edges for a while. And then we've got a beautiful little Lysimachia, Creeping Jenny, with the golden foliage here just to brighten it up in the shade. And last but not least, we have this Torrenia, which will have this really pretty periwinkle blue-purple flower trailing in the front. There's not a lot of trailing plants for shade, but this girl gets it done. And then I'm just going to go through all my little cracks and crannies with my fingers, actually feeling down in. If you can poke your finger in, then that's an air pocket. You need to fill that with soil because roots won't grow in airspace. You want to get good contact. And then when I'm all done doing that, I'm going to actually water everything in, and that's going to also help wash the soil down into those little cracks and spaces. And now you are already finished with your single. So whether you're doing the sun or shade, remember it'll take a little bit to figure out your watering schedule. Just keep checking it. The first couple inches, the top couple inches should be dry before you go to water. You don't want to drown anything. But you'll get based on your exposure and sun and wind and everything else, you'll sort of get into a routine. If it's every other day, if it's a couple times a week, you'll get into the routine with the watering. And then don't forget to fertilize as well throughout the summer months. I like to use a half rate of a general purpose liquid fertilizer. So whatever the label rate is that you're using, do it a half of the rate that it says, but do it more often. So I usually do it every 2 weeks, and that just keeps things happy and growing all summer long. And if you have any questions about your planting kit as you are assembling it, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help you, but I know you can do it. And now it's your turn. Go get out there. Happy gardening.